You don't really own the ocean, you just borrow it. You borrow it for an hour before work or half a day on the weekend, and if you're lucky, it lets you take something home with you, a clean set, a good ride, salt stiff in your hair that makes life feel briefly simple again. You tell yourself that's what the ocean is for, something vast and patient, there for the taking if you show up early enough and don't ask too much of it. But the ocean doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to anyone. And sometimes if you paddle out at the wrong time, it reminds you of that in a way that lodges under your ribs and never quite works its way out again. This happened on the south coast, a few years back now. I won't say exactly where, because I'm not interested in turning the place into a curiosity or watching blokes treat it like a tourist stop between coffee vans and car parks. If you surf, you already know the kind of beach I mean. A bit out of town, no surf cam, no cafe trailer, no crowd unless the forecast's practically glowing. Just low dunes, scrubby bush, and a long stretch of water that looks gentle right up until you're in it. And I'll tell you this for free, because I wish someone had told me. If you ever see a fin out there that's too long, too thin, and it swims like something learning how to be a shark, get out. Don't wait to confirm what it is, because the confirmation might come too late. Most mornings I'm not some fearless adventurer, I'm just a bloke with a board and a terrible sleep schedule. Dawn patrol always suited me, less wind, fewer people, no one dropping in or burning you because they thought they deserved the wave more. That quiet moment before sunrise is the whole point, the sky bleaching from black to purple to gold, the world holding its breath before the day starts making noise again. That morning I woke up before my alarm. That doesn't sound like much, but it's never a good sign. When your body drags you out of sleep like that, it's usually because it's noticed something the rest of you hasn't caught up with yet. The house was cold, tiles bit into my bare feet. The kettle sounded too loud in the stillness, like it was announcing me to something. I made a coffee I didn't really want, shoved my weddy and board into the ute, and drove with the radio off. The whole way there, one thought kept circling. Too quiet. No kookaburras, no magpies, no gulls lifting off from the roadside. Just the faint hiss of wind moving through the she-oaks when I pulled up at the end of the sandy track. At the top of the beach stairs I stopped. The water was glassy, grey-blue, a thin mist hovering over it like breath in cold air. The lineup was empty, not a single surfer. That wasn't unheard of at this spot, but something about the emptiness pressed on me anyway. It felt like the ocean was keeping the place to itself. Out of habit, I scanned the water, rips, sandbanks, the way the sets were forming. And sharks. Always sharks. Even when you tell yourself you're not paranoid, you still look. I didn't see anything, so I waxed up, tugged my wetsuit tight, and paddled out. The first few minutes felt normal. The water had that pre-sunrise cold that tightens your chest and clears your head properly. The foam felt thick and heavy against my hands. The ocean smelled like kelp and old things left too long in the dark. I duck-dived a couple of small waves, paddled wide, and settled just beyond the break where the swell rolled under you without breaking. The sky brightened by degrees. Still no birds, still no other surfers. I told myself it was a good thing. No competition, no nonsense, just me and the water. Then the lull hit. That long pause between sets, where everything goes still. I shifted on my board, stretching my shoulders, letting my legs trail in the water. That's when I saw the fin. It was far out at first, just a thin black shape slicing briefly out of the surface before dipping away again. For a moment my brain reached for the sensible explanation. A dolphin, I thought. But dolphins glide, they arc, there's a looseness to them, a sense of play, even when they're being unsettled, in that way they sometimes are. This fin didn't arc. It rose awkwardly, like something pushing it up from underneath. It was too long, too thin. Not the clean triangle your instincts recognise straight away, more like a blade. And when it moved, it didn't cut the water with confidence. It wobbled, like I wasn't sure what it was meant to do next. The fin surfaced again, closer this time, then dipped, then rose once more in a hesitant, shallow S-shaped motion that made my stomach tighten, because my mind finally landed on the only explanation that fit the wrongness of it. It swam like something learning how to be a shark. The water around it stayed unnaturally calm. No birds diving, no baitfish breaking the surface, no signs of feeding, just the fin, practicing. I stared until my eyes watered, trying to see what lay beneath it. There was a shadow under the surface, but it didn't look right either. Too long, not shaped like any fish I knew, more like a smear of darkness stretched thin under the water. My pulse thudded in my throat. All right, I told myself, enough, paddle in. And that's when the set appeared on the horizon, a proper one, clean lines marching towards the bank, shoulder high and peeling perfectly. And like every idiot surfer alive, fear evaporated in the face of it. Just one more. I paddled for the first wave. The ocean lifted me, the board tipping down the face, that familiar electric rush shooting up my spine. I popped up, knees bent, and the wave opened ahead of me like a door. For a few seconds, everything was exactly as it should be. Then I looked down the line and saw the fin inside the break. Inside, closer to shore than I was, moving in the same direction as the wave, matching me. It breached once, still too thin, still too long, but steadier now, less wobble, like it had found the rhythm. A flush of heat spread through my chest. The fin dipped and reappeared closer again, not charging or attacking, just joining me, like a kid riding their bike alongside yours, watching your feet on the pedals and figuring it out. I bailed without thinking. Cold water swallowed me, salt flooded my mouth. I surfaced coughing, heart slamming, my board tugging at my ankle like it wanted to pull me under. The wave rolled on without me. The fin was gone, but the water didn't feel empty anymore. It felt like someone had stepped into the room behind you. I paddled hard for shore, arms burning, pride gone. Halfway in, something brushed the underside of my board, just a slight lift, like a hand. My breath caught. Behind me, the surface bulged faintly, as though something enormous had rolled close beneath it. I didn't look back properly. I couldn't. I knew if I did, whatever calm I had left would snap. I didn't stop paddling until my hands scraped sand. I didn't tell anyone. What would I have said? Yeah, mate, saw a weird fin. You'd get laughed out of the lineup. You'd be that bloke everyone quietly avoids. So I kept it to myself. For the next week, I surfed busier breaks, town beaches, places crowded enough that you could pretend safety was a numbers game. But it didn't leave me. Some nights I woke up with the sensation of rolling water beneath me, like my bed was floating and something vast was passing underneath. I started reading old shark reports, attacks, sightings, strange encounters. Nothing matched. Gradually the fear dulled into something else, embarrassment. Probably a dolphin with a damaged fin, I told myself. Probably an injured shark. Probably bad light, fatigue, nerves. Then the swell forecast lit up, a proper winter pulse, clean lines, big enough to make surfers talk like gamblers again. And that break, the one I'd sworn off, was going to be perfect. That's the thing about surfers. We don't really learn lessons. We just learn how to negotiate with them. So after 2 weeks of excuses, I drove back. This time there were other cars. Relief washed through me so hard I nearly laughed. 2 blokes were already suiting up, an old fella with a longboard and a younger one on a shorty with a mullet that looked like a regretted decision. We nodded, no words, just the quiet agreement that the ocean was ours for the morning. We paddled out together. The first hour was brilliant, the kind of session you remember forever if nothing ruins it. We traded waves, hooted each other, watched the sun climb. The sets came in clean and generous. Slowly I convinced myself I'd been ridiculous. Then the lull hit, a hard one. The sea flattened to glass, the wind dropped, and suddenly I noticed something that made my stomach tighten. There were no birds, no gulls, no terns, nothing. The older bloke stopped mid-sentence and stared out the back. The younger one shifted uneasily on his board. "Feels weird," he said. That's when I felt it. The invisible temperature line, the water around my legs chilled, sharp and sudden. My hands tightened on the rails. I turned slowly. At first I saw nothing, and that was worse than seeing the fin straight away. Because last time it had shown itself, this time it waited until I was committed. Then the fin broke the surface out the back. Long, thin, too clean now. No wobble, no hesitation. It moved like it knew exactly what it was doing, and my stomach dropped because this wasn't some random animal anymore. It had improved. The fin surfaced again, closer, then another appeared to the left, then another still, not a group travelling together, attempts, copies, The younger bloke laughed nervously. Sharks, eh? The older bloke didn't laugh. He squinted, face tight. That ain't right, he muttered. The ocean began to hum, not a sound you could hear, but a pressure in your teeth, a vibration in your bones, slow, rhythmic, like breathing or counting. I wanted to warn them, but the words stuck because a bigger set appeared on the horizon. The younger bloke spun and paddled, the older followed, and my own traitorous surfer brain whispered, "If you catch this wave, you'll be fine." So I paddled too. The wave lifted me. I popped up, the board humming beneath my feet. For a moment it was heaven. Then the face darkened, not from shadow, but from something moving inside it. A pale shape rolled under the surface, long as a bus, smooth as fat under skin. The fin rose beside me, right there. So close I could see it wasn't skin at all, but something stretched too tight, like cartilage pulled over bone. The edge trembled with effort, as though it was being forced to behave. It dipped, rose again, perfect now, matching my speed exactly. Then an eye appeared beneath the surface, not set in a head, just there, looking up, studying. And I understood. It wasn't hunting me, it was learning from me. The hum deepened, my voice tightened. I tried to outrun it. The wave began to section, the lip thickened, ugly, heavy, a closeout. I was trapped between the thing beside me and the wall collapsing ahead. The fin surged closer. The water beneath my board bulged upward, lifting me like something massive was rolling just under the face. My board wobbled. Then the section through, not a crumble, a violent pitch. The lips slammed down between us in an explosion of white, and for 1 second the ocean saved me. It wasn't skill or courage, just pure luck. I kicked out into the foam, duck-dived blind, paddled until my lungs burned. A messy inside wave grabbed me and dragged me shoreward like a hand on my leash. I didn't fight it, I let it throw me. I hit the shallows on my knees, hands sinking into sand, body shaking like I'd been shocked. The others were still out there, laughing, normal. Out the back, the fin surfaced once more, still, watching, not chasing, like it didn't need to. The hum faded and the fin dipped slowly, almost politely, before sliding under. "Thank you for the lesson," it seemed to say. The older bloke paddled in. "You alright?" "Yeah," I lied. I grabbed my board and walked away without looking back, because I was terrified that if I watched too long, it would keep learning, and next time, it wouldn't need a practice run. I still surf. Of course I do. You don't give up the ocean any more than it gives up you. But sometimes on quiet mornings, when the lineup thins and the set's slow, I feel that old hum again, faint, almost imagined, and I realise I'm watching the water the same way it once watched me. And every now and then, far out past where the waves start to stand up, I see a fin break the surface for just a second too long. Perfect now, indistinguishable, and I understand the real lesson wasn't that it was learning how to hunt, it was learning how to belong.